I got scammed. So my MPC Live 2 was stolen the other day, and honestly, really sucks. A lot. But just as I was about ready to curl up on the floor and start crying ever so softly, I remember that I'm a YouTuber. When life gets you down, you make a video about it. Girlfriend broke up with you? YouTube. Cat died? YouTube. Moog 1 oscillators won't stay in tune. You make a video about it, and you hopefully cry on camera. Yeah, I'm here to make lemonade out of this whole deal, and who knows, I might even make my money back if we can get to around 500,000 views on this one.
Are you serious?
So if you can like, comment, and maybe share this video with someone,
That would be great.
So the purpose of this video is not to just bitch and whine about my misfortune, because that really won't benefit anyone, and my purpose has always been to bring value to you, all of you watching. So I'm hoping that maybe I can shed some light on how this all happened, and maybe I can help out so it doesn't happen to you. And second, I want to talk to you about what I'm thinking about doing about my current NPC-lessness. If I think that getting another NPC is the way to go, or if I might be switching teams and joining the dark side. So how about we start with how this whole thing went down. My MPC got stolen by means of a very intricate and well-orchestrated con which used 3 key elements to pull off: timing, misdirection, and very coordinated fraudulent emails. So let's start with the first. Great timing. This might come as a big surprise, but I don't make enough money off YouTube alone to sustain this channel. A gear channel in essence needs new gear. So to be able to afford new gear to showcase, I'm constantly flipping around my current gear on sites like Facebook and eBay. And here in South America, we use Mercado Libre. And in this occasion, I was trying to sell my MPC. Ironically, I know that for many of you, the reasons for me deciding to sell my MPC might be more interesting than the robbery itself. So don't worry, I'll tell you all about it in just a couple of minutes. The thing is, the last couple of months, the secondhand market has really slowed down, and I've been struggling to sell anything at all. So when an offer came up for my MPC, I did kind of jump on it, and I didn't do my usual screening process. So first lesson, do not let your anxiety or eagerness to sell cloud your judgment. See if the buyer has ratings on the site, see if there are pictures of his Facebook page, if he has friends, and if generally seems legit. That should have been my first red flag, but I never got the time to do any of the investigation because the buyer told me he was in a big hurry. So all of this was in a context of extreme pressure. For my part, I told him that I could hand over the MPC when I got back from work, but he insisted that he needed it before 2 p.m. on the next day because he had to travel. So I agreed to hand it over to an Uber that would go get the MPC at my workplace. So second lesson learned, when you're selling something, you dictate the times and the terms. Don't be rushed or lured into something unsafe. Try to meet in public places like a local coffee shop where there's security cameras and people around you, so it's less probable or less likely that someone's going to try something there. Also, if the buyer's in a hurry, it's his problem, not yours. Once again, since I was the one that was really eager to make the sale, I kind of played into all his stress and time constraints, which in turn made me lose my peripheral awareness of all the other things happening around me that were kind of off. The misdirect. So the buyer told me he was in a hurry, so he wouldn't be able to make the pickup himself. Instead, he was sending an Uber over to get the package for him. So unless it's some kind of long distance thing, most people won't be willing to fork over that much cash without checking the goods. So this should at least make you a little suspicious. Third lesson learned, be wary of a buyer that doesn't want to inspect the thing that you're selling first, especially if that thing costs over $1,000. Anyway, the Uber served as a great misdirect in 2 ways. First, it added to the pressure since he started sending me multiple texts telling me that the Uber was trying to find me and he was almost there, but he was having trouble finding the address. Second, it made me focus on meeting the Uber instead of the actual sale process, which should have been my main focus. So while I was busy trying to help the Uber find me, I get the first email. An email that I swear was identical to the ones you get when you actually sell something on Mercado Libre. Everything seems normal up to now. I try to open the Mercado Libre app, and as often happens in these situations when you most need it, my internet service starts getting laggy and I have trouble getting in, so it doesn't load right away. Since I still don't see any funds, I tell the buyer that I can't confirm the purchase. And then he sends me a screenshot of the web pay confirmation complete with the MasterCard used. It was identical to the official one. At that moment, the Uber gets there and it starts asking for the package. So I put the MPC in the front seat of the car and take a picture of it and send it to the buyer. That's when the second email comes in, confirming that Mercado Libre has received the payment. And before I could really check the app, I get a third email saying that the buyer has confirmed the reception of the package and now he has rated me with a positive, and I should rate him. The Uber driver obviously starts asking if he can get the hell out of there since, you know, he's got to make a living, and since every single piece of information I have seems to be in order, I let him go. And that's the last time I saw my MPC. Just another smooth sail like lots of others I've made. Of course, I'm at work, so I have to get back at it, and it's not until a couple of hours that I realized, hey, I'm gonna check up on my app. And I start trying to load it, and no dice. There's no funds in it. No purchase, and my sale is still available right there, untouched. No money transferred. No MPC. So final lesson here is, just because it's in an email does not make it true. Unless you can confirm in-app, whether it be your bank account or the app account itself, always assume it's not real. I didn't believe this before now. I thought I wouldn't be duped into something like this, but email fraud is very real and very extremely convincing. And coupled with well-coordinated performance like the one I got, you can't really tell until it's way too late. So that's how my MPC was stolen. But the real question is, why was I selling it in the first place? Well, the big reason is the MPC has always been a very big part of my channel. And that's exactly why I was selling it. Because I think that 2023 might be the year that we see some very real changes in the MPC line in its hardware. If you think about it, there are two things that make the current offer of MPCs a bit strange in tiers and pricing. First, you have the arrival of the MPC keys, which not only comes with tons of new instruments, which you would have to pay for to get if you have any of the other MPCs, but it also comes with double the RAM of the other MPCs. That means that the MPC X, the supposed top of the line and most expensive MPC of the family, is currently less powerful than the keys and comes with less instruments as well, which doesn't make very much sense unless you really value that the X has that big tilting screen, the 16 knobs with the LED screens, and more audio ins and outs. But that brings me to my second point, which is that thanks to some firmware updates, you can hook up an external audio interface into the MPC, which makes the number of IOs of the X even less relevant when making this decision. So even though I have absolutely no way of backing this up, nor any insider information, it wouldn't be crazy to assume that Akai might release something like an MPC Live 3 or an MPC X2 with more RAM and maybe an updated CPU. Basically more horsepower and included instruments that would justify buying it instead of the keys from a technical standpoint. And with that in mind, I was hoping to sell the Live 2 now and not wait for a new product release that would make me have to give it away for peanuts later on. As I said before, I flipped my gear to get other things to show on this channel. So with the money of the Live 2, along with other things I'm selling, I was aiming at getting at least one of three things that I find really interesting and maybe you should consider as well. So the first thing that I would obviously love to explore is the MPC keys. I know it's had a bit of a rough launch, and according to some people out there, it wasn't exactly ready for the general public, but I find that that makes it even more interesting in terms of a synth tube reviewer, because it helps me see how it grows and hopefully develops into a more coherent instrument. The second device that I was planning to check out was the Simple Trek by Sonicware. It looks really cool and has these old-time gamey vibes that I'm just really into, like on the M8 or the OP1. I don't know, it just really piques my interest, and I was hoping to get one of those soon. The third device that might fill this MPC-sized hole that you see in my studio right now might be the Machina Plus. Now, I haven't used Native Instruments stuff in a while, and maybe that's a bad thing. Maybe I should be, you know, switching around a bit and see what's changed. At least at first, everybody was worried, me included, about the CPU and the RAM not being enough, you know, to support everything that Machina does. But after seeing lots of people actually using it and really enjoying the hell out of it, I think it might be worth a try. And the last device that I really love to revisit is the Deluge with the now updated LED screen. I think I said it in all my videos featuring the Deluge. The Deluge was an amazing device, still is an amazing device, and I said that if it had an LED screen, it would just have no competition whatsoever. And at least from what I've been seeing and hearing about this new screen, it seems like the Deluge has really reached God tier. Just like with my MPC, I had a feeling about 6 months ago that the Deluge was due for an upgrade, and I sold it thinking that a new Deluge 2.0 might come. You know, twice the price, 100 times better, features and all that. And instead, they just grabbed the old one and said, hey, send us over your Deluge and, you know, we'll fit in a new screen. Never saw that one coming. Anyway, that's all I wanted to really say today. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you found this video useful or at least entertaining. Please stay safe out there, and I wish nothing but the best for you and your families. Have a great week. I'll see you next time.